Okay, hi Mark, hi Neela. How are you
Hi
guys?
there.
So I'm
Great.
Kate. I write for the mamadiaries.com. And so the Smurfs, the original Smurfs premiered the year I was born. So I'm giving away my age here a little bit. So so I grew up with them. I mean, I remember Halloween one year, I think I was Smurfette. I had one of those crazy 80s vinyl costumes with like a mask that probably like cut your face and stuff like that. So it's really nostalgic for me, which is really fun. Um, Neela, I would love to know from you, what was your like initial inspiration behind bringing the Smurfs back?
Well, um, the thing is that the Smurfs are Belgian, so they're a Belgian icon. So really proud of that. And we had just done these three Halloween movies with Sony, and they were not going to do a fourth one. So we said, okay, we need to have a new series because this brand needs to stay alive like forever, and because we love it so much. And that's when the whole adventure started. We said, okay, why not try to produce it ourselves here in Belgium? Yeah, it was quite a challenge. And you go from working for a company as a sales executive to being a producer. So it's been a fun road. Quite an adventure.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Especially with season 3 coming up. That's exciting. Um, Mark, so you play Gargamel. So
Yeah.
can you tell can you tell us a little bit about his character and like what initially what made you want to be part of the Smurfs?
Okay, so for being part of the Smurfs, well, I'm an actor, so my phone rings or my agent calls me, and I got this phone call from the studio one day who said, "Look, hey, we're on to this new project of the Smurfs," and your mind just goes blank and you go, "The what?" Because this is my childhood. It's my childhood. It's everybody's childhood
Right.
for many. Anyway, so it's the kind of phone call you don't refuse. You kind of you pick the call and then you go, "Oh, you mean the Smurfs? So, well, what exactly do you want me to do on this?" And thinking, well, they're doing they're thinking about casting, and they need a voice director as well. So, would you be interested? And at the back of my mind, you do what you usually do as an actor. You go, "Yeah, I'll think about it." Of course, knowing that you're going to call them back and say, "Are you serious?" Of course I am. It's you don't say no. And we found that out with basically everyone. Everyone just jumped on board. So that was the level of excitement. And then regarding Gargamel, well, he's he's an iconic villain. So you have to flesh him out like any character. So the only thing I said to myself was, well, how I wanted him to I wanted to care for him. I didn't want him to be pure evil. I think it made no sense. So I said to myself, okay, how did he get into this predicament? How did he end up a grumpy old fool all by himself in a derelict mansion, chasing obsessively a bunch of blue folks in the woods, and living with a cat that's actually more intelligent than he is? How does someone get to that stage in his life? And so I only felt a kind of empathy and love for him. And I think that's how I treat him. So he's extreme. He's a grumpy old obsessive guy who gets incredibly mad at his own stupidity. And when he finally gets a break or potentially gets a break, then he gets unlucky. So he'll never make it. It's just, and that's the comedic element within Gargamel, essentially. And you have to love him. He's like a Charles Chaplin character. You want to hug him, you kind of feel sorry for him.
So even though it's often said that like villains are misunderstood. So do you think that Gargamel is misunderstood in a
Oh
sense?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Of course he is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you could put him on a psychiatric couch, he'd stop chasing Smurfs, essentially. There are, he has been known to like them at certain moments. you
Very
know, yeah, yeah. I think he's far more complex than we imagine. Yeah.
Yes, I can see that definitely. So Nele, the animation is, I really loved it. It's so beautiful. Like all the colors are just so bright and, it's lively. So how is like, I mean, I know like you're not the animator, but like the whole designing process of creating the Smurf village, how did you go about that?
Well, the whole designing process actually starts from within our company, so we don't externalize that, and that means that there are people working on it who are actually also doing like the comic books, who have known Peo, the creator. That means that the elements that come where it all starts from come from within our studio, and they stay really true to the universe, because those people that work on it, they know the universe inside out. And yeah, afterwards, of course, we work with a great team of animators who put on who make it come to life, of course. Yeah, you just first you have to set up the rules to put in, like you said, a lot of vibrant colors to make you want to walk into that village. That's what we wanted to accomplish. And we really focused a lot on texture as well. As you will see the episodes, there's really put a lot of thought into detail. So to really want to make the kids go into the world of the Smurfs and actually want to be a Smurf, and that's what we try to do with that style of animation.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I enjoyed it. So for both of you, is there a particular Smurf that you're able to relate to?
Most certainly. It's a good question. It's a tough one, because there are 100 plus all the villains in and around,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go I'll go a bit left field on this, and I'll say I think Smurfette has evolved really well, because being, of course, the only female character in the 70s and in the comic strip and of its time, how do you translate this character into the modern age, with the world that we live in today, and I think the script writers did a great job. Production director, they kind of made the right choices, and now she's become more self-determined. She's her own boss. She's driven, which is fantastic, and so it makes it funny when she slips up as well, and she has these little moments where it doesn't go quite according to plan, and so she gets driven and so obsessive, and so you can start playing with those little notes. And I think she's evolved really beautifully, and I think it's of its time now. It's relevant once again, which is a great homage in a way to the classic series, and how to transform it, retaining the classic element that we all loved as kids, and taking it essentially into today's world.
Yeah, that was one of the big challenges, because as someone that grew up with the series as well, of course we only had like one girl to relate to at that time. Right. And when you look back at the series, the way she was portrayed there was like the girl that was always in need, so and always wanted to look pretty, and she still can look pretty, and she still can be rescued, of course, by all the Smurfs, but we really made her into a more modern female character. And of course now she has all these Smurf girls from the other village that come and join her, so there's a lot more female characters as well that the kids can relate to, so that's a great addition to the show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both for talking with me today.
Oh,
thank you.
Already.
I know, it was great to meet both of you, though.
Nice to meet you, Kimmy.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys.